Namaste. In last week's video, I talked about the neurobiologic stress cascade and how a simple event from 6 a.m. to 6:01 a.m. can lead to a heart attack or stroke in the long run over a period of several years. Eating bad, drinking, trying to quiet your mind down by dopamine leaks. I'm gonna eat bad, I want some chips, I want a drink, I want some wine, because I got this text message from Jill Ramesh. They didn't send me an exclamation point. I got this email, I got this Facebook post that I did not really like. Nobody said something bad to me really, but I didn't take time to write it down and I was thinking about it. What happens is that the amygdala gets hijacked. Signals go to the hypothalamus and the sympathetic nervous system. From there, it goes to the adrenal cortex, adrenal medulla, releases epinephrine, norepinephrine, cortisol, which leads to inflammation. At the end of the blood vessel wall, atherosclerosis develops because of that, of eating bad, drinking, smoking, whatever it is that people do, complaining, blaming. And then the blood pressure goes up. That can lead to a heart attack or a stroke. What do you do then let's try to understand what you can do. Now we have this hijack that's happened at 6 a.m. from this text message that you did not like, email, Facebook post, and you wanna try to take this and faces it. And in Mind Hygiene, instead, we do aces it. And we're just gonna go over this in this video. When you try to fix an emotion, anger, if you cannot overcome it, you try to control the situation or try to find coping strategies. You try to block it out, and you try to be strong, which is a judgment. So what's happening here is that you're taking some time here to judge yourself, fixing it, controlling it, overcoming it, and being strong. And to quiet this down, you gotta do something. You gotta scroll, you gotta text them back, you gotta eat bad, drink, whatever it is that people do, complain, blame. I'm gonna text that person, can you believe Jill said that? Can you believe Ramesh said that? I've been doing so good at work. That email, so now you're complaining to somebody. All of these things lead you to be stressed out because cortisol is increased. And these cascades are happening on a regular basis. And if you're trying to fix it, then you're gonna run into trouble. Overcome, deal with. Well, what do you do instead? You empower aces and disregard faces. You accept your awareness. What does this mean here? It just means that you've just taken time to accept it. There's nothing to do with that acceptance. Acceptance and commitment therapy has medical evidence to support it. I've been to that. I've been to cognitive behavioral therapy, dialectical behavioral therapy, eye movement desensitization, reprocessing therapy, and that's how I came up with the concept of mind hygiene, including my life experiences. Because when I accepted these things, when I was drinking, when I was drugging, I had a cocaine-induced manic episode. When I was smoking cigarettes, marijuana, and gambling, I almost died. Because I was always trying to fix these, and I usually thought that it would start with this, but I didn't know until I wrote it. And I just accepted your awareness on this. There's nothing to do with this. This is one of the most powerful things you can do. Instead of trying to control a situation, you just accept it instead. This process could take some time. If you keep on writing, the mind hygiene study shows that when you're understanding what your purpose is, mind hygiene, I want to believe in myself. I don't want anybody else to believe in me. I'm believing in myself every second that if I accept this, something good will come out of it. I won't have a heart attack or stroke. Let me communicate with compassion. When I talk about compassion, my personal definition is I gotta do something I don't want to. Let me stimulate the anterior cingulate cortex. Let me develop something new there. I'll develop a new, if people call it a habit, I call it an investment. I'll write. I'll walk into the gym for 1 second and then leave. I'll eat one piece of spinach and then stop, and I'll eat some ice cream. What you're doing here is you are doing something that you don't want to do, if that will forward your mission, vision, purpose. And that's what mind hygiene shows in the mind hygiene study, where you're developing your purpose and understanding. And then you can be nice to yourself now. You being strong is either positive or negative. That's the trouble. is that you don't want to think about it as something that's good or bad. You just want to accept it, be compassionate, and then be empathetic. Embrace your empathy. And what I mean by embracing your empathy is understand that this process could take several years. You're like, well, I don't have time. Imagine this. Do you want to become an all-star player of mindfulness? Do you want to become an MVP of meditation? Do you want to stop being anxious and depressed? Well, in baseball, a 300 batting average is considered great. You could be an MVP, but that means you're failing 70% of the time. In mind hygiene, I would say you're probably going to be feeling good at least 70% of the day, or 70% of, that's at a high level after several years. But initially, you're going to feel good right away when you start writing. It's not going to, look at how good I feel by just writing and understanding that a basketball player, for them to be at a very high MVP level, 55% is really high. That means that you're failing 45% of the time. Michael Jordan talks about this, how he says that he failed more, he missed more game-winning shots than he actually hit. But what you're doing here is you're understanding that. And a lot of this has to do with your childhood too. What happened when you were younger? From 2 months to 2 years, social and emotional development takes place from your family. My mom was schizophrenic. She was gone when I was 8. My dad was hitting me, making me hit my mom. I was in and out of child protective services. So some of those things has led me to say, oh, well, Jill and Ramesh don't like me. My dad would always say, I'm stupid, I'm dumb. Oh, they think I'm stupid, I'm dumb. So what you're doing here is you're embracing it and you're understanding that there could be a journey. And then, of course, one of my favorite things, rational emotive behavioral technique. Soften the process. Don't talk to anybody that says that this is hard or difficult. Play neurobiologic jujitsu with the neurobiologic stress cascade and live in neurospiritual sovereignty. What do I mean by this? Let's soften the process. Neurobiologically, you're stressed out, limbic hijack, inflammation, heart rate, heart attack. Stress cascade. Instead of that, let's try to attain neurospiritual sovereignty. Neurospiritual. If I can do it, you can too. But you don't have to do it in my way. That's the best part. You can just inspire from this journey. Neurospiritual sovereignty. I don't want these chemicals. I don't want cortisol, epinephrine. I want to develop an oxytocin bond with myself. I want to feel good. I want to have that serotonin. Have you guys heard of selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors? Well, you're stabilizing your mood by virtue of writing. Once again, you don't need mind hygiene, but this is something you can start off with. And neurospiritual sovereignty, you're spiritually connected to a higher power, and you're asking God, understand that I'm doing something I don't want to, and I'm accepting it. Please support my work. And then God will be around. If you believe in God, higher power, they'll be there. Sovereignty, and that now you're free. And if you can live like this, you'll be in the clouds of emotional freedom. So what are we trying to do here? We're trying to aces our life with mind hygiene. Accept your awareness, communicate your compassion, embrace your empathy, and soften the process. You got this text message, it didn't come out how you liked, fine, accept it, but write it down though, no guessing. Communicate with compassion, you wrote. You didn't want to do that, you wanted to hit the snooze button at 6:01 a.m. And then embrace your empathy. Just say, look, God, I'm putting in this work, help me out. Soften the process, don't make it seem like it's hard or difficult, because if somebody else can do it, you can too. There will be a mind hygiene guide in the description below. You can click on that, follow along, and I'll be dropping videos at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time every Wednesday. You can watch the first video on the neurobiologic stress cascade that I did last week, and let me know in the comments what you think about this process and if it made sense to you. These are concepts that I've been developing living alone by myself in monastic solitude for several years. My mom lived with me, she was schizophrenic, and I took care of her for probably the first, she died in 2021. Probably for about the first, and in 2021 till now, 5 years. So probably for 6 years, I was dependent emotionally on myself and taking care of my schizophrenic mom. I had people that were around me, but I just didn't want to hate myself anymore. And I realized that I could not depend on anybody emotionally. And that's the urban monk life. You can When a lot of people talk about monastic solitude, right now, my pets are here. I don't have friends. I don't have family. All my family's passed away, my close family. I moved. I don't have any support, no emotional scaffolding of any kind. I'm not on any dating apps. I don't have any prospects. I'm living in true monastic solitude. There's nobody here. If it wasn't for this, I would not survive it. And you might want to inspire from this, knowing that if you want to know who you are, you don't want to be living in external validation loops for the rest of your life, blaming others. You want to be the next best version of yourself. Then you might want to embrace some type of monastic solitude as well. Namaste.